I'm real proud of my son for doing that, because I will say this, I coached football for 20 years at Bedford High School. I coached a lot of great players. I coached a couple guys that won the Fitzpatrick. I was very, very fortunate. We had a great run. You know, one of the things I think as a coach, you always look for trying to get the most out of your players. I can say this about my son, because of his intelligence and because of how hard he simply worked. I'm not so sure that I ever coached a kid that was that close to getting where he needed to go. And I think that that's a tribute to him as well. You know, how many people own their home? They own home at what, 22 and 23? Not many. It's been great to see their relationship mature. Really, you're talking at the Lucky Pigeon. They had pictures all over the place of Joey and Peyton when they first went out. I mean, they looked like babies. Honest to goodness, what were you, Joey, when you started dating? 14? 14? No, it's incredible. It really is to see, you know, a relationship be able to last as it has. Both of them are doing jobs that they, to me, are tailor-made to do. Peyton is a dental hygienist. She's doing incredibly well. Only working four days a week. I think that's cool. Joey is helping athletes, young athletes, get better. OT and PT people, you know, that have exhausted that, older folks. And I knew one of the things I wanted to say. Joey might have been in fifth or sixth grade, and I knew that football. As a young kid, he loved baseball. When he started playing football, that became his passion, his love. And I remember having this conversation in the truck one day, and I said, Joe, if you're going to play football, you're going to lift 3 times a week. This is like in fifth grade. And I said, you're going to lift 3 times a week, and if you can't do that, you're not going to play football. Not only did he embrace that, he looked forward to it. Dad, what are we doing? And then I got to a point where I said, you know what, I have to send him somewhere else, because I was limited, my stuff was limited, and that's where Rick Suarez came in. And Rick's been a great mentor to him in regards to, and that's who Joey works for now. And you know, he's helping young athletes get better as well. Karen and I consider ourselves very, very fortunate. Both Joey and Maria have found people in Peyton and T. We love them, and I can say that so sincerely. We love their families. I can't say that. I can't say that enough. Peyton, I'd like to officially welcome you into our family. That sounds really silly. No, because you've been part of. I was telling your uncles that today you've been part of our family for so long, and I would be remiss. All right, go ahead. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Yogi, right? Yogi did that. Brady and I were talking about a year ago, you know, and I said, Brady, you know, Brady and I joked that I was going to arm wrestle to be the best man. And you know what? He diplomatically said this. I said, Brady, I thought it was going to be you. He said, Coach, it was always going to be you. I thank you for that. I mean that. I don't want to cry, Brady. Right? But I'm glad that it's not commonplace to have a dog as your best man shit. I would have lost that battle. I love the way that they both love their dog, and I think that's great. I'm almost done, please. Joey, T reminded me this the other day, and I wanted to share this with you. T said, "Where'd you get that poem on the door?" So, honest to goodness, Joey was born the day he was brought home. I put a poem on his door, and I don't even know. To be honest with you, I've never asked you. T thought it was cool. I put a poem, and it's still there, right? And this is what it says. It says, "You got it from your father. It was all he had to give. So it's yours to use and cherish for as long as you may live. If you lose the watch they gave you, it can always be replaced. But a black mark on your name, son, can never be erased. It was clean the day you took it, and a worthy name to bear. And you took it from your father, then there was no dishonor there. So make sure I don't have my glasses, sorry. So make sure you guide it wisely. After all is said and done, you'll be glad your name is spotless when you give it to your son. Now, I can say this, and I'm not going to get emotional, I promise, right? I have been so proud of my son about every which way that he's gone about doing his business, and I couldn't be more proud. And as I said, to be the best man here, Joe, thank you again. To end things tonight, I've got, you know I was going to add this in. I have two pieces of unsolicited advice. Joey and Peyton know this, right? I give unsolicited advice, and I mean this. I hope that they respect this. I say, if you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't, right? So I guess the first thing, I hear a lot of best men speeches, and you know what they say? They say, may you always be as happy as you are tonight. Every time I hear that, I cringe. And I mean that because you know what? All of us here know how hard life is. You know, you're exhausted. You know, you're working 10-hour days, whatever you're doing, and you know, you get home and sometimes you're exhausted. You got things to do at home, and this is what I'm going to tell you guys as quote unquote unsolicited advice. Now, you take it, right? Talk to each other the way you guys always want to be talked to. Love each other the way that you guys want to be loved. Karen's nodding here, and I mean that. That's something I always have to work on because Joey, one of his traits, he tends to be sarcastic. Maybe you get that, I don't know. but the point is that, you know what, you know, there's sometimes where you're just in a bad place and you don't always, you'll love the person, but you don't always, and just talk to each other the way that you want to be talked to. Here's the second part of advice, right? When God blesses you with children, right, make sure you make room for him in your life as well, right? And that's, you know, I was going to include him too. You guys know me, but in any event, thank you. I have one. I told you I had 2 bits of advice. I have one promise as well. I can't promise to be here for the rest of your life, but I can promise to love you for the rest of mine. Thank you.